One of the things that surprises people when they find out I'm a reverse mortgage specialist is how often I actually tell families not to get one. And that usually catches them off guard because there's a common assumption that if someone offers reverse mortgages, they must think a reverse mortgage is always the answer. And the truth is, my job is to help families determine the best path forward. In fact, there are situations where I believe a completely different strategy makes more sense. Today, we're going to talk about when a reverse mortgage may not be the right solution and why understanding your family's goals always comes before choosing the financial tool. Hi, I'm Corpus. I'm a Senior Transition Strategist, Realtor, and reverse mortgage specialist based in the San Francisco Bay Area. I help families figure out how to pay for senior care, especially when a home is involved, whether they're considering aging in place, assisted living, memory care, selling a home, or using home equity strategically. My role is to help them understand all their options so they can make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. This is another episode of Sandwich Generation Solutions powered by the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast, where we bring clarity to the housing, care, and financial decisions families often face during some of life's most challenging transitions. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast, where we help families navigate senior living, real estate, and everything in between. Hosted by Senior Transition Specialist Dale Corpus, this show brings you expert insights, real solutions, and stress-free strategies to make senior transitions simple. Ready to dive in? Let's go.
Number one, when you're planning to move soon. One of the very first questions I ask families is, how long do you expect to stay in the home? Because if the plan is to move within the next couple of years, a reverse mortgage often isn't the best fit. These programs are generally designed for homeowners who plan to remain in the home. If selling the property is already part of the plan, there may be better options to accomplish your goals. Again, the goal isn't to force one solution. It's to find the right solution. Number two, when other financial resources already solve the problem. Sometimes families already have enough resources. Maybe they have strong retirement income. Maybe they have investment accounts. Maybe they have long-term care insurance. Maybe they simply have enough cash flow. If those resources already accomplish the family's goals, there may be no reason to use home equity. Remember, just because a reverse mortgage is available doesn't mean it's necessary. Number three, when aging in place is no longer the safest option. This can be one of the hardest conversations families face. Sometimes everyone becomes so focused on keeping mom or dad at home, they stop asking whether home is still the safest place. If someone requires around-the-clock supervision, has advanced dementia, or significant medical needs, remaining at home may no longer be the best solution. A reverse mortgage doesn't solve care needs. It simply creates another financial option. The care strategy always comes first. Number four, when the family hasn't agreed on the goal. This happens all the time. One sibling wants mom to stay home. Another thinks assisted living makes more sense. Mom wants one thing. The adult children want something different. Before discussing financing, everyone needs clarity around what they're trying to accomplish because financing should support the family's goals. It shouldn't determine them. Number five, when you don't fully understand how reverse mortgages work. Reverse mortgages have carried misconceptions for decades. The bank takes the house. My kids won't inherit anything. I'll lose ownership. These are some of the biggest myths I hear. The reality is very different. Homeowners still own their home, but families deserve to fully understand how these loans work before making any decision. Education should always come before action. Number six, when you're looking for a quick fix. Many families don't call until something has already happened. A fall, a hospitalization, a dementia diagnosis, a caregiver becoming overwhelmed, and suddenly everyone is scrambling. They're hoping one financial product will solve everything overnight. Unfortunately, there usually isn't a quick fix. The best decisions happen when families step back, look at the entire picture, and evaluate care needs, housing goals, financial resources, family dynamics, and long-term plans together. Number seven, when you're starting with the wrong question. This may be the biggest mistake I see. Families often ask me, Dale, should we get a reverse mortgage? But that's usually not where the conversation should begin. The better question is, what are we trying to accomplish? Are we trying to help mom remain at home, reduce caregiver stress, delay a move to assisted living, improve monthly cash flow, preserve retirement savings? Because once the goal becomes clear, the available options become much easier to evaluate. Sometimes that includes a reverse mortgage, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes selling the home makes more sense. Sometimes assisted living is a better option. Sometimes another financial strategy is more appropriate. The strategy should always come before the financial tool. So, when does a reverse mortgage not make sense? Sometimes it's because you're planning to move. Sometimes it's because other financial resources already solve the problem. Sometimes it's because aging in place is no longer the safest option. Sometimes the family hasn't agreed on the goal. Sometimes there isn't enough understanding of how these programs actually work. Sometimes families are looking for a quick fix, and sometimes they're simply starting with the wrong question. My goal has never been to help families get a reverse mortgage. My goal is to help families make the right decision for their unique situation. And sometimes that includes a reverse mortgage. Sometimes it doesn't, because every family's story is different, and every family's solution should be different too. This has been another episode of Sandwich Generation Solutions, powered by the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast. If you're trying to figure out how to pay for senior care, especially when a home's involved, I've created resources to help families better understand their options before making important decisions. Stay here for personalized guidance, educational resources, and access to my AI Resource Explorer. Check it out by going to simplifyseniortransitions.com/start here. And if you'd like to explore more conversations with senior living experts, elder law attorneys, home care leaders, financial professionals, and families navigating these decisions every day, visit the podcast episode library at simplifyseniortransitions.com/podcast library. If this episode helped bring clarity to one of the biggest misconceptions surrounding reverse mortgages, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and share this episode with someone who's helping an aging parent navigate these important decisions. I'm Dale Corpus. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode of Sandwich Generation Solutions.